Welcome back to the 4-1 Tonight Show. We've got a special guest with me tonight, Mr. John Hanger, gubernatorial governor-elect from Hershey, PA. John, if you wouldn't mind coming out and saying hi to the people.
Introducing
Hey, John.
gubernatorial candidate John Hanger.
I gotta take the
Get back in your hole.
The welcoming committee. That was a hell of a red carpet.
John, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Let's get right into some fun questions because honestly, you're probably my favorite politician because you're the only one that'll hang out with me.
Well, there we go.
So, let's hear from you. My first big one, obviously, is how's marijuana going to get legalized here?
Well, the real answer is we got to shock the establishment. There's tremendous momentum around the country to legalize and tax. Here in Pennsylvania, we have an opportunity on May 20th in the Democratic primary to show the politicians that the public has changed and the public is ahead of them. If I win the Democratic primary on May 20th, that's less than really 3 months from now, we will shock the establishment. We will send a message to the politicians that they must change their position and support legalization and taxation of marijuana in order to keep their jobs. You know, there's one thing that politicians are good at. It's keeping their jobs.
We were talking about hemp production, which I think is really important for us. How do you think we can get, the state of Pennsylvania and the Farm Belt here in Pennsylvania on board with this?
Well, I don't think that's actually going to be difficult. Pennsylvania was a huge hemp producer not so long ago. Hempfield, Westmoreland County, Hempfield, Lancaster County. These are names of communities named after huge fields of hemp that was a common sight across Pennsylvania not long ago. So actually, the Congress has already allowed states to have hemp produced for academic research. So University of Pittsburgh, Penn State University, any academic institution now could be growing hemp. We just actually need the state legislature to also pass a bill allowing hemp cultivation.
Let's talk numbers for a second.
Sure.
We all know Colorado made a ton of money, and I bet you know exactly how much money they've made thus far. Tell the people exactly how much money Colorado is making off of taxes.
Well, they project that in the first year, they're going to probably make somewhere around $60 to $70 million in the first year. And frankly, they're going to grow that number as they develop the business, develop the market, the legal business, the legal market for a change. And I think in Pennsylvania, we could certainly do more on taxes here. We could get more tax revenue if we were to legalize and tax. Let me change that. When we legalize and tax marijuana, we will actually stop wasting about $300 million a year prosecuting so many marijuana cases that ruin people's lives, really for no good reason. And we could start adding tax revenue, maybe $100 million. Some even say it could be as much as $200 million. So we could free up roughly $500 million through stopping the huge costs of ruining people's lives and by then collecting new tax revenue.
I don't want to stay focused on marijuana the whole time because I know that you have some ideas for actually helping with the environment and changing the scene here in Pennsylvania for that. Give me some of your thoughts on what's going to make Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania, I guess, a greener or more environmentally friendly state.
Well, I think it's also very important that we have clean energy, we have alternative energy. Natural gas production must be strongly regulated. I wrote the moratorium on drilling in state forests. I want to keep drilling out of the state forests and parks and then make sure it's strongly regulated. But we also got to get to wind and solar. I smile when I see wind farms, and I smile when I see solar, and I smile when I see energy-efficient buildings and energy-efficient cars and lights and all the rest of it. There's a tremendous number of jobs to be created there. And by the way, the solar installation job pays about $23 an hour on average. So it's a good paying job. Okay. So we can create thousands of those. I think one of the keys to all of this is, of course, education.
Yeah.
And one of my proposals is to throw open the doors of community college to all Pennsylvanians. I have a plan that would allow every Pennsylvanian to go to community college for 2 years or 1 year of state university and pay for it out of their earnings when they become workers, so they wouldn't have to pay the upfront tuition. We have a fund that would do that.
That's amazing, because I have so many friends right now that are getting hit up for their college payments back right now. It is terrible.
Yeah, the cost of college now is so high that many people don't even begin the process. They're so afraid, appropriately so, of taking on so much debt. So we need to use our community colleges and our state universities as a way of allowing every Pennsylvanian to get the training and education they need to enter the workforce. And then we need to make sure we have those jobs in clean energy, in medicine, in transportation, agriculture, hemp. We could be creating a lot of jobs in hemp. And back to marijuana. If you legalize this, you create businesses and you create good paying jobs doing that.
So I know you're from Hershey, PA.
Right.
Sweetest place on earth.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I have to ask, what's your favorite munchies?
Well, I have to confess, it's Hers potato chips. That's a good Pennsylvania potato chip. Have a particular fondness for salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar, okay. Now, this is one that I just have to ask. Have you ever smoked marijuana with Barack Obama? And if not, would you like to?
Well, since I've never smoked marijuana with anybody, I would certainly watch the president smoke, but I wouldn't join him in that exercise. I would love to meet the president.
What if we could get you both in Colorado? Could we make it happen then?
Well, again, I would accompany the president, and he apparently has some real experience in smoking. So I would certainly see an expert at work where I with him in the room. But again, I won't. A little more seriously, I would use cannabis if I were sick and my doctor said cannabis would help me. I find it a total outrage that cannabis is withheld from sick people by politicians. So I may get sick one day, and I may end up smoking marijuana or using marijuana, but it will, in my case, it will be because I need it as medicine.
Great. John, I have one last question for you. Scooby-Doo, who's your favorite character?
Well, I guess I have to go with Shaggy, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been John Hanger, gubernatorial governor-elect, May 20th?
May 20th.
May 20th.
Democratic primary.
Vote. Everybody, big round of applause for John Hanger.
Thank you.
John, thank you so much.